Thank
Thank you.
you, Sean, and thank you, all of you. What a tremendous panel discussion. So, Ronnie, I'm just going to pick up on. I just want to do a little bragging on, right? So let me do that. Armando, you did just such a beautiful job thanking everyone that came together. I want to add a couple of more folks for this. Great big, huge thank you to Donna Martin and Catherine Thibodeau for co-authoring this report. Catherine is actually with us, and we're hoping to be able to put her on video for a second. There you are, Catherine. Catherine is in the state of Maine. She's with Independence Advocates of Maine, and they actually just had their COVID vaccine clinic at her agency. So, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Catherine, because the work you did was just really immeasurable. I just also really want to thank Sean because without Sean has just last year he wrote the report. He is the quarterback. He brings it all together. He makes all of us look good. So thank you, Sean. He often tells us what to say and what not to say. We really appreciate that, Sean. He helped us get on video today. That was particularly good. But I also want to thank the folks, three agencies in particular, community providers, who agreed to be included in the report for the case studies. And that includes the UCP of Stanislaus County in California. Forgive me if I mispronounced the county. It includes the Arc of Anchorage, and it includes John F. Murphy Homes of Lewiston, Maine. So thank you very much for sharing your direct experience to be included in the report. And just maybe in closing, Ronnie, thank you. You really nailed it. Thank you. This sounds backwards, but thank you for being crushed by the reality that we have all lived with for years, and not just being crushed by it, but by doing something about it, by really helping to tell our stories, to bring the urgency of these crises to the fore, for using your skills and your passion as a journalist. For us to be seen, for people with disabilities and their families to be seen. It makes an enormous difference. I saw in the chat, someone asked, why aren't we doing the traditional scorecard like we did a few years ago? The Case for Inclusion for many years was really a scorecard state by state. We've gone away from that because there was some real difficulties with apples to apples in terms of making the scorecard actually accurate and fair. Some states said they didn't have a waiting list, but they actually had kind of an uncounted waiting list. Some states counted some people in waiting lists, but not everyone. That's just an example. But clearly this year, we knew that, doing a scorecard, the traditional scorecard, wasn't the right thing to do. As Shannon McCracken, ANCOR's Vice President of Government Relations, often reminds us, this is the time for us to meet the moment. And in doing so, she was paraphrasing, she was quoting President Biden, who in his inaugural address in January called on, all of us to meet the moment, as the United States of America. That was his call for us coming together to be unified. But as, Charlie, clearly the takeaway from this Case for Inclusion launch, at least the tweet will be, disability rights, human rights are not a local control issue. And that's the purpose of the Case for Inclusion. And that's been it from the beginning. And that's why ANCOR, the ANCOR Foundation, who has made ANCOR's participation and partnership with United Cerebral Palsy and putting out this report so important. This is a year where it is just so incredibly incumbent upon all of us as the United Cerebral Palsy National and all of your affiliates, as ANCOR and all of ANCOR members, but most importantly, as all of us, as all of the disability community, whether you're affiliated with ANCOR, whether you're affiliated with UCP, all of the stakeholders, for us to come together to heed that message that President Biden really called on us to meet the moment. That's what we're doing. Did it take a pandemic to lay bare how incredibly unequal and uneven disability services are across the country? Unfortunately, it did. But we've got this report. Thank you for everyone that came together to talk about it, for all of you who signed on to listen to us. Take this report and use it. Let's leverage the moment. Let's meet this moment. Thank you very much.